Hey there, if you've been thinking about building a real estate team, or maybe you've already started and are wondering, what now? This video is for you. Today we're pulling back the curtain on what it really takes to build and lead a successful team. And I'm not just talking about adding more agents to your roster. I'm talking about creating systems, culture, and accountability that actually scale and don't burn you out in the process. We're diving into insights from two powerhouse team leaders, Jenkins and Ruiz, who recently shared their stories on REDX Power Week webinar. They've built incredible teams, but they've done it in very different ways. So let's unpack what they've learned and how you can apply it to your own business. Because spoiler alert, neither Barry nor Miner set out thinking, I want to build a team. For Barry, the shift came after selling 125 homes by himself in a single year. No assistant, no transaction coordinator, just pure hustle, and he was miserable. I was drinking from a fire hose, he said. Everyone told me to start a team, but I didn't do it for success. I did it for survival. Miner's story is a little different. He started mentoring agents and at some point realized he was earning more from their production than his own. That's when he shifted focus from solo production to team building. Both of these stories share a common thread. They built teams because they had to. Success created overflow, and building a team was the only way to keep going without burning out. Now, here's where things get interesting. Barry and Miner are both incredibly successful, but they lead in completely different ways. Barry is super honest about it. He says, I'm not a great manager. If you need me checking in on you every day, this isn't the place for you. But if you're self-motivated, we'll get along great. Miner, on the other hand, is way more hands-on. Early on, he was right there at the head of the table, listening to calls, giving feedback, and coaching his agents through every step. What's the takeaway? You don't have to lead like anyone else. You just have to know your style and build a system that works with it, not against it. One thing both leaders do have in common, they pay close attention to how their agents talk to clients. Barry started tracking how often his agents asked for face-to-face meetings. Initially, it was only about 30% of the time. Once he coached them to always ask for the appointment, that number jumped up to 70%, and his team started booking twice as many meetings. Miner listens in too, not to micromanage, but to really understand how his agents are handling showings, follow-ups, and conversations. That way he can step in with coaching where it counts. It's not about control, it's about using data and feedback to drive smarter decisions. Now let's talk accountability, because this next idea is genius. Miner created something called the Shark Tank, a glass-walled room where 8 to 10 of his younger agents prospect together every morning. And here's the twist. If you show up after 9:15 a.m., you have to buy breakfast for everyone. That's a $150 mistake. Not only does this create peer-driven accountability, but it also builds team culture, and it works. That group alone has over 60 listings. The takeaway? Accountability doesn't have to be top-down. Let your team hold each other to a higher standard. In a shifting market, being a part of a team can be a huge advantage. Miner saw that inventory was drying up in traditional resale markets, so he pivoted his team to a new construction in areas with more supply. Instead of hoping the market would come back around, they adjusted and kept selling. Barry put it perfectly. People who've been in this business a long time are obsessed with the pivot. When you've got a team, you can test different strategies at once and double down on what works. Now, this part might surprise you. Barry said something during the webinar that really stuck with me. There's this idea that leading a team is like getting promoted. It's not. If you think clients are hard, managing salespeople is like herding cats. And your top performers, they'll be the most challenging to manage. Leadership isn't glamorous. It's tough, it's messy, and it's not for everyone. But if you do it right, it can create incredible opportunity, not just for you, but for every agent on your team. Now let's talk about compensation, because it's a topic every team leader wrestles with. Barry uses something he calls the watermelon philosophy. He says some agents want 100% of a grape, but eventually they realize 50% of a watermelon is a lot more valuable. In other words, agents eventually see that it's better to share in a big, structured, and well-supported business than to keep all of something small and struggle. The goal is to build a business where everyone wins, and when agents truly value what they're part of, the split makes sense. So what's the big picture? There isn't just one way to build a great real estate team. Barry and Miner took totally different paths, but both built high-performing teams with strong cultures and smart systems. The key is to find your own balance between support and autonomy, culture and accountability, hustle and strategy. Don't get caught up in doing it the right way. Focus on doing it your way and doing it consistently. Both Barry and Miner use REDX to help power their teams with tools for lead generation, call tracking, and accountability built right in. If you want to see how REDX teams can support your business, check out the link in the description to schedule a demo. If you found this video helpful, give it a like, hit subscribe, and drop a comment with your biggest takeaway. I'd love to hear how you're approaching team building. Thanks for watching, and of course, happy prospecting.